You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Now it's time for Nautica de la Cruz.
Thank you so very much, Mo. So for Discover SoCal, I went to a place that I had never been before. I didn't even know it existed. I went to the Carpenter Performing Arts Center in the city of Long Beach, located at 6200 East Atherton Street in Long Beach. The Richard and Karen Carpenter Performing Arts Center is located in California State University, Long Beach, CSULB. And it is a prominent cultural and entertainment venue in Southern California, established in 1994. The center was named in honor of the very famous musical duo, the Carpenters, which they are alumni of CSULB. Karen and Richard Carpenter are known for their contributions to pop music in the 1970s. I would say our genre. And their legacy is commemorated through the facility. The center was built as a tribute to Karen Carpenter, who passed away in 1983, and serves as a platform for arts and culture, providing the community and students with access to a wide range of artistic expressions. Over the years, the Carpenter Center has hosted numerous high-profile performances spanning various genres and artistic forms. Some notable performers who have graced the stage include Grammy award-winning artists like the Manhattans, Manhattan Transfer, jazz legends such as Herb Alpert, and iconic Broadway star, the little Christine Chenoweth. The center has also featured performances of acclaimed dance companies such as Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, and more. These artists and groups bring a high level of prestige to the venue, attracting diverse audiences and enhancing cultural landscape of the area. The programming at the Carpenter Center, it is quite diverse, catering to a wide array of artistic tastes. It features a robust schedule of events, including concerts, theatrical performances, ballet, which I went to go see. I'll tell you a little bit more about that, and speaker series. In addition to the professional touring productions, the center supports local and emerging artists as well as educational programs. Its cabaret series and dance series are particularly popular, offering intimate settings for audiences to experience world-class talent up and close. The Arts for Life program is another highlight, providing free arts experiences to community members of all ages, ensuring that the center remains an accessible cultural hub. The Carpenter Center also plays a pivotal role in CSULB's education mission, serving as a learning space for students in the university's College of Arts. It offers opportunities for students to engage with professional artists through master classes, workshops, and internships, fostering a vibrant environment for creative growth. With its state-of-the-art facilities and commitment to artist excellence, the Richard and Karen Carpenter Performing Arts Center continues to be a beacon of culture and education, enriching both the university and the wider Long Beach community. Like I said earlier, I was there recently for the SoCal ballet scene. It was spectacular. It was magical. The ballet dancers were amazing, and the performances were absolutely breathtaking. And I did bring the 2024 and 2025 30th season pamphlet. I guess it's the booklet. And it basically breaks down who is going to be showing up. For example, this Saturday, which is tomorrow, it's going to be an evening with Charles Blow. And then we have Take Me Home, the music of John River. That's going on Sunday, October 6th. We also have Candace Springs. She's a jazz singer. And she'll be in town November 8th. There is so many amazing performances. That's just a few of the events that are coming up. But if you want more information about the performances, please visit carpenterarts.org. That's carpenterarts.org.
And I'm looking at the schedule, and you stopped short because I'm looking at the Pink Floyd Laser Spectacular. Just like, okay, that's something I would want to check out.
Wait, on this page right here, they're doing a tribute to Prince. That is Saturday, December 21st. I'll leave you the pamphlet here. It's Marshall Charloff and the Purple Experience. Mm-hmm. Yes. I mean, this place is not only beautiful, it is It has a sense of elegance. And I have to say this, Mo, tickets are not expensive. The tickets to the ballet were only $45.
That is very reasonable. If you can get into the ballet for under $100 per ticket.
Yes, no. I went with a friend and I just had an amazing experience. Now this was just for the day, but it was the SoCal ballet scene, which I believe that it comes annually. If you ever have a chance to go see it, it was exquisite. Oh, and I have to say, I did very much enjoy the male ballet dancers in tights.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They had a tribute to Don Quixote, Swan Lake. They had flamenco dancing in the ballet form. Oh, it was just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Now, I know you'll probably be remarking on this and more on your podcast, Frequent She.
Yes, Frequent She podcast. You could catch us on Spotify and iTunes. It's Amy Lopez along with myself, and we're on every Thursday. We that's when we put the new episode out. So definitely check us out. We talk a little bit about everything, life, family, relationships, you name it. We try to stay a little bit from politics, but we try to have fun. That's the whole purpose.
So if you enjoyed Nautica de la Cruz, what you hear here on Later with Mo Kelly on Fridays, you can get more of that, get it mainlined, all of it unfiltered on the Frequent She podcast. And very quickly, spell it for folks so they know how to find it.
Yes, it's FREQUENSHE podcast. You can't miss us. Our logo is a lipstick of a microphone.
That sounds about right. When we come back, the hidden gem for this week with Nautica de la Cruz. So keep it right here. Oh, and maybe, possibly, probably, definitely, we're giving away a Disneyland Resort Family 4-pack.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
It's now time for the hidden gem of this week with Nautica de la Cruz.
Thank you, Mo. Today's hidden gem is Jonathan Franco, which was referred to me from Karen Muirs. Jonathan Franco grew up in Los Angeles. His childhood was filled with typical experiences, a Southern California kid, beaches, support, and school. But what always stood out to him were the untold stories of those who struggled just beyond the surface. He was the kind of person who noticed when people were left behind. This curiosity combined with a sense of empathy led him to Pepperdine University, where he majored in integrated marketing communications. The program not only gave him a strong foundation in strategic communication and branding, but also opened his eyes to the power of storytelling to create social change. Jonathan's education wasn't just about learning or how to sell products. It was about how to advocate for causes that matter. At Pepperdine, Jonathan's involvement in the community outreach programs connected him with underprivileged youth, sparkling a passion for making a tangible difference. It was during this time that he first learned about Garrett Underwood, a local leader who had founded Seed House Project. Garrett's story hit home for Jonathan. Garrett, like him, had grown up in Los Angeles, but had taken on the fight against social injustice, particularly in the systemic problems affecting homeless and foster youth. Garrett's hands-on approach and deep commitment to empowering these young people inspired Jonathan. Jonathan saw the potential in his organization's mission and knew he could contribute by helping amplify the message through this marketing background. SeedHouseProject.org focuses on healing and empowerment. The organization doesn't just provide a roof or job training. It builds a community where the youth feel seen, heard, and valued. Through mentorship programs, therapy, and life skills workshops, Seed House Project helps these young individuals not only to survive, but to thrive. The goal is to help them break the cycle of homelessness and uncertainty, creating a foundation for independence and self-worth. Seed House Project is built on the belief that every young person, no matter their background or circumstances, deserves the opportunity to succeed. The organization takes a holistic approach, addressing not just the immediate challenge of housing and employment, but also the emotional and psychological hurdles that come with homelessness and instability. By fostering a sense of belonging and community, Seed House Project creates a safe space for youth to heal from past trauma and envision a future full of possibilities. Its programs are designed to empower individuals to reclaim their narratives, offering them not just tools for survival, but the confidence to thrive and build sustainable futures. If you'd like to get more information or get involved or volunteer or donate, please visit seedhouseproject.org. And Miss Karen Muirs, thank you so much for introducing me to Jonathan Franco. And Jonathan Franco, thank you for being our hidden gem, and thank you for telling me your story.
See, this is what I enjoy most about these segments with you,
Yes.
Nautica de la Cruz, because all of these, again, they're hidden for a reason in the sense that we don't know about them, but all these great resources, all these great individuals, all these great organizations are within our grasp, but they don't get necessarily the type of sunlight that they should deserve and need so they can thrive and do even more great work.
Yes. And there's one thing that, I have, my heart goes to everyone, but I think, especially, the youth, sometimes the youth are a little confused and they need guidance. They need help. And also, there is always, I think we could always all be a big brother or a big sister
Right.
to a young one. And it's important because we could talk about our experiences or say, hey, I made a big mistake, when I was 18 or 13 or 15, whatever age.
All of those years.
All of those years, yes. Oh, I made lots of them.
Ooh, don't remind me.
But I don't want anyone else to make those mistakes, and I'm sure you wouldn't either. And it's nice to guide someone and to give them morale and love and warmth and empathy and sympathy. It's just, I think it's something that we should just continue to do. And as human beings, we are human beings and we have feelings. We may not show them all the time, but a hug to someone in need goes a long way. Words of encouragement to someone, to a young one, goes a long way too.
That's seedhouseproject.org. Nautica, I appreciate you. One more time for Frequency.
Yes, Frequency podcast. You could catch us on Spotify or Google Podcasts or also iTunes as well. And one more note I want to say to you, Mo, I want to thank your listeners so much because not last week, but the week before, remember when we were talking about my mom and we were talking about organization, then I ended up talking about my mom and she has to take the DMV test.
Yes.
Mo, your listeners inundated me with messages on Instagram, on LinkedIn and Facebook, and they were giving me tips to give to my mother. So I want to thank all your listeners that listen to Later with Mo Kelly. Thank you so very much because I passed those tips on to my mother. So now she's not freaking out about taking her exam as a senior citizen. And you could always find me on Instagram at Nautica de la Cruz.
Nautica, I appreciate you, and I'm so glad that this space has been helpful not only to you, but your mom. And look, you never know who's listening. You never know who can be an advocate for you, even though you may not even know that person.
Thank you.
And before we get out of here for this segment, I think, is it possibly? Yeah, it's the time. It's Halloween time at the Disneyland Resort. KFI AM 640 and Later with Mo Kelly want to give you a chance to experience the frightful fun. Who wants a family 4-pack to the Disneyland Resort? A family 4-pack. I see all these hands going up. No, Stefan, you can't go. Mark, I would invite you even if I won and I had access. I don't like you like that.
There's no need for that. There's no need to be mean on a Friday night.
No, I have to be honest with you, okay? I take the half black part of you, but not the half white part of you.
Just nasty, uncalled for.
Well, how about this? We'll give it to a listener. How about caller 12? If you are caller 12, you and 3 other family members, friends, it's a family 4-pack for you right now to the Disneyland Resort as part of Halloween time. Caller 12, the family 4-pack is yours. Caller 12, family 4-pack is yours to the Disneyland Resort. KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Now on Later with Mo Kelly. Mark talks about movies and TV, pontificates about pop culture. Rahner Report with Mark Rahner. Mark Rahner right now. Mark Rahner right now. Mark Rahner.
I got a question. Is it Francis Ford Coppola or Coppola?
I say Coppola, like Coppa-feel. Six of one, half a dozen of the other. Tomato.
Gotta make it. Never mind. Here's the Rahner Report.
Okay, look, I didn't get the apparent indifference toward Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis. I mean, come on, it's the self-financed magnum opus of the 85-year-old director of The Godfather and Apocalypse Now. Could be his last big movie. We don't know. And we've been hearing about it for years now. He started working on it 4 decades or so ago. Couldn't get it off the ground with the studios, and finally put up his own money to do it without studio interference. Put his ass on the line to the tune of $120 million without any notes or demands. So this is pure, unfiltered, artistic output from one of our masters. Of course, this is also the director of Jack from 1996. Still, maybe I'm missing something, but that seems to me like an automatic ticket purchase. Even if it turns out to have some flaws or whatever, how do you not support a big swing like that from an artist like that? Okay, granted, the trailer doesn't really convey very, very clearly what kind of movie it is. Here's a little bit of it.
One filmmaker has always been ahead of his time.
That's Adam Driver stopping time on top of the Chrysler Building.
Go.
And restarting time.
From visionary writer and director Francis Ford Coppola comes an event nothing can prepare you for.
Imagine today's society as a branch of civilization about to reach a dead end. Is this way we're living the only one that's available to us? My plan is a city that people can dream about.
Megalopolis.
What about those standing in your way?
Power to the people!
Who like it the way it is?
People don't need dreams. People need help now. Don't let the now destroy the forever.
You know, it's still kind of hard to tell what the movie's about. It's definitely not Italian gangsters shooting each other in the old days. In fact, it looks sort of like a Cologne commercial by way of Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead, starring Adam Driver. So, how is it, finally, after all this time? Well, you definitely have to see it to believe it, but if I recommend you see it, you'd be within your rights to take out a hit on me. In fact, it's more like Megaplopolis. I'm sorry, Francis. If you can roll the dice with $120 million, that's on you. I don't own a house. I barely have anything to compare this movie to. It is audacious and pretentious and ambitious, which you could also say about Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey, except 2001 turned out to be a work of enduring and transcendent genius, and Megalopolis is just a laugh-out-loud sink trap of a mess. Also, 2001 didn't have Shia LaBeouf. Give me those apes howling at the monolith instead every time. Let me see if I can even give you an idea what this is about. The story takes place in a near future / alternate reality city called New Rome, which is more or less New York through some kind of vaguely sci-fi prism. Adam Driver plays a genius architect named Caesar who wants to build a utopian development called Megalopolis using a fantastical new substance called megalon. He's enemies with the mayor, played by Giancarlo Esposito, who by law is in everything now. Everything. And Driver's architect character begins a romance with the mayor's daughter. That's Natalie Emmanuel from Game of Thrones and that recent kind of so-so remake of John Woo's The Killer. Aubrey Plaza's character has the best movie name of the year and perhaps all time, Wow Platinum. Wow Platinum. She's Caesar's sort of girlfriend and a TV presenter and the imminent wife of a super old, super rich banker played by John Voight, who's in a wig that looks like it was left over from Jerry Anderson's old UFO TV series. By the way, I'm not making any of this up. Adding to all this unintentional hilarity, Lawrence Fishburne is the narrator, which you heard, as well as Caesar's chauffeur and assistant. Basically like if Batman's Alfred did ponderous, nearly incomprehensible voiceovers. And yeah, LaBeouf, he's Caesar's annoying, rotten cousin Claudio who plots against him and acts like a halfwit. Not a real career reviver of a role, so much as one that reminds you, Ah, that's right. He ruined one of the Indiana Jones movies. And that's nowhere near all of it. This 2 hour and 18-minute ordeal is filled with stilted dialogue that for maybe 30 seconds might make you think of David Milch's wonderfully stylized dialogue in Deadwood. Except here, it's in the form of quasi-philosophical speeches and debates about society. And if you close your eyes, it's easier to picture grade school students in togas reciting this stuff and gesturing broadly. It's so painful. I got to be straight with you. I'm still processing this silly mess. And yet, it's 100% excruciatingly earnest. It is a total mess. Maybe it'll be a cult classic someday. Maybe I'll return to it down the line and appreciate it more at a different point in my life. At the same time, life's too short to sit through this a second time. In addition to being called WoW Platinum, Plaza's fun to watch, and Driver seems game for anything you throw at him. Still can't recommend Ferrari, though. But there's a number of other stars who show up without really serving much purpose. Dustin Hoffman's in it. Talia Shire from The Godfather, who, by the way, is also Coppola's sister. D.B. Sweeney, some others you may or may not recognize who, had a free couple days, and Coppola was like, we got free craft services. Just show up. There must have been something to the whole stopping time gimmick, because the guy across the aisle from me was pulling out his phone to check the time throughout the whole movie. And just this once, I didn't want to cave in his skull so much as whisper to him, I know, buddy, I feel it too. One other thing before I leave here and take a shower. The Substance with Demi Moore and Margaret Qualley. That's incredible. One of the best and most shocking things I've seen this year. The Substance. It's still in theaters. And if you can withstand, say, David Cronenberg body horror movies, you should not miss this. But as the young people say, it goes hard. Very stylized, very sick. Briefly, it's about an aging fitness star whose career is beginning to sag just like her caboose. And she tries out the substance to rejuvenate herself. But it's not like Botox. It splits a younger, hotter version of herself off from her, or I should actually say out of her. And they have to alternate 1 week at a time, living and 1 week dormant each. But it comes at a grotesque cost, and nothing like that could possibly go according to plan. It's a movie. Definitely not for the squeamish, but an instant little masterpiece, and I do not use that word lightly. It's also probably the angriest feminist, just absolute nuke job in the form of a horror film I've ever seen. Blew my hair absolutely back. There's your Rahner report, Mo.
Look, you would think on paper, if Francis Ford Coppola has $125 million and no oversight, he's going to do it exactly how he wants. He doesn't have to take any notes. He doesn't have to worry about anyone getting in his way. And he has the full complement of Hollywood's biggest stars at his fingertips, on his Rolodex, and just call anyone. And if they're available, they'll show up. You would think that he would have had a better result.
You would think that. And this movie, I mentioned that I'm still processing it. It got me to think about editors throughout my career, because I've always thought, and I don't mean editors like the kind that I have here at KFI doing the news. Editors here write much of the copy that we read in the news reports. But editors, say for a newspaper, you file your story and editors work it over. I've had maybe 3 or 4 my whole life that improved my work. Mainly, I just wanted to be left alone, file my stuff, see it printed. It doesn't work that way with movies. Movies are much more collaborative. And so I went into this thinking, this is going to be great. He doesn't have anybody holding him back. I came out of it realizing, oh no, he needed the input from the people all up and down the production line.
Well, at least he knows for sure. It's not like this great idea that he never had an opportunity to see to fruition.
No, I'm glad he got to do it. I'm sorry that it's almost guaranteed to be a massive flop, but, it's a big swing. Sometimes you take a big swing, you get a big miss.
Well, you would know.
I don't know what that means. I'm not sure I like that.
I just like to mess with you, Mark Rahner.
I don't have enough money to take a swing a fraction that big.
Look, I'll tell you this much. I will probably see it, if only because I like futuristic sci-fi. It's usually worth my time. So I will cautiously view it, but I'll wait for it to show up for a home theater viewing.
You have been warned.
Later with Mo Kelly on KFI AM 640.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And I wanted to say this before we finished up this hour. sometimes I get messages from you on Instagram at Later with Mo Kelly, or on Facebook at Later with Mo Kelly, at Mr. Mo Kelly. However you find me. You find me somehow, okay? You search me out and say, Mo, you don't know what you're talking about. Mo, you are wrong about this. Mo, Diddy is innocent. I say, whoa. Slow down. I'm going to treat Diddy like I treated R. Kelly, like I treated Bill Cosby, like I treated Harvey Weinstein. Does not matter. It's real simple. You may in your heart want to believe that this is some big conspiracy or some sort of a project to bring him down or somehow, stop a good guy. I'm just telling you, when dozens and dozens of people accuse you of criminal behavior, the freak-offs, that's not the thing. It's what's happening that's criminal at the freak-offs is the thing. When dozens and dozens and dozens of people have accused you of rape, sodomy, forced prostitution, all sorts of stuff. When that happens, for this person to be innocent, they don't have to be, it's not about whether all 55 people accusing you are telling the truth about everything. It really isn't. Sean Diddy Combs needs to be innocent of every allegation in every way made by every person, male and female. Here's why. You don't need to have been guilty of raping 15 people to be a rapist. As Jeffrey Osborne said, just one. You don't need to murder 15 people to be a murderer. Just one. Sean Diddy Combs needs to be innocent of everything which has been alleged by everyone who has alleged these heinous acts, for him to actually be innocent. And I say dozens and dozens of people. You heard Mark Rahner talk about the woman who filed a lawsuit today claiming that Diddy sexually assaulted and impregnated her and had a video of it and all that kind of stuff. All right. You heard about that. That's just the latest. And she is a Jane Doe, so we don't know her name. But there's a law firm in Houston allegedly representing more than 50 alleged victims in a forthcoming class action lawsuit against Diddy. Victims who say they faced sexual assault, abuse from Diddy and his associates. And there will be a press conference when this lawsuit is filed, and these people will come forward and tell some of their stories to the public. Are all 50 plus of them lying about every bit of it? Or maybe it's only 15 of them telling the truth. For Diddy to be innocent of all these accusations and allegations, every single one of them have to be untrue, top to bottom, in every single way. Otherwise, he is a rapist. Otherwise, he has sexually trafficked women and men. Otherwise, he has had sexual activities with minors. Otherwise, he has drugged women. So that's just the truth of it all. I will wait for federal authorities and the justice system to have its process. It will play out. I'm quite sure not all of these accusers are credible, but I do believe a lot of them are. Not all of them have to be credible. Just one. It's Later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
Heard any of our secret mind control hidden messages recently? No? That's because we're really good at it.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live every